Celebrities do often have to answer hard and intrusive questions from interviewers, but sometimes those lines get crossed, and a memorable confrontation goes down. From Morgan Freeman's sharp take on Black History Month to Kanye West's explosive, "You ain't got the answers" sway moment, these interviews shadowbox the push and pull between fame and privacy. Join us as we delve into the most iconic instances where stars defended themselves and interviewers got way more than they bargained for.
Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth!
I'm going to, okay?
During the interview, an interviewer asked Morgan Freeman, "Black History Month, you find it ridiculous?" Freeman was calm as usual. However, he sounded clearly offended. "Why?" he asked. "You're going to relegate my history to a month? Black history is American history. How are we going to get rid of racism until we stop talking about it?" His candid, pointed response cut through what had, generally, been a diplomatic-style interview and belied how deep his feelings on the subject ran. Freeman was clearly exasperated at the idea of relegating Black history to 1 month. His response was a demand that the approach be reconsidered.
Ridiculous.
Why?
You're going to relegate my history to a month? Black history is American history.
How are we going to get rid of racism until...
Stop talking about it.
A similarly awkward exchange took place at a UFC press conference when a reporter suggested that the UFC president Dana White was allowing his fighters too much latitude in speaking their minds. "You're giving your fighters a long leash," the reporter said. An incensed White cut him off. "I don't give anybody a leash. What is your question?" he asked, surprisingly firm to the journalist. An eerie silence fell. Unrelenting, White made clear his stance on free speech, firmly stating, "Free speech, brother. People can say whatever they want." Undeniably, this takedown did indeed cement White's take on free speech, at least as applied to his organization.
You obviously give a long leash to your fighters about, what they can say.
I don't give anybody a leash.
Well, I'm saying you...
A leash?
I'm like...
Free speech. I don't tell any other human being what to say, what to think, and there's no leashes on any of them. What is your question?
I was asking that question. I'll move on, though.
Yeah, probably a good idea. That's ridiculous to say I give somebody a leash. Free speech, brother. People can say whatever they want and they can believe whatever they want.
Back in 1999, another equally iconic moment of intensity took place when Mike Tyson was interviewed in regard to an upcoming boxing match. When asked about being tagged a 6-1 underdog, Tyson scoffed at the statistics, saying,
"I don't know anything about that. I don't know nothing about numbers. I just know what I can do.
How about
kill this mother?"
Okay. How about the 19 months off?
What about it? What about it?
Does it pose any problem to you?
We'll see. I doubt it seriously.
This interview was done while Tyson was on his comeback trail following his biting incident against Holyfield, and the angst that Tyson had in answering questions was palpable. In one interview, when questioned about the anger he would often unleash inside the ring, specifically during his fight with Holyfield, for which he became infamous, Tyson replied with explicit and brutal candor,
"Well, it. It's a fight, so whatever happens, happens."
Mike, why do you have to talk like that?
Well, I'm talking to you the way I want to talk to you. Do you have a problem? Turn off your station.
You know what? I think we'll end the discussion right now.
Then we could.
You got it. Have a nice fight, Mike.
Off.
Quentin Tarantino is no stranger to confrontational interviews. With intense and often controversial films to his credit, one interviewer once asked him, "Why do we have to see so much gruesome graphic violence? Can't we leave some things to our imagination?" And Tarantino, never one to mince words, said, "Because it's so much fun, Jan, get it?" The interviewer wasn't deterred by that response and continued to insinuate that such graphic violence could be mimicked by the viewers of his movies. Tarantino shot back, "You're talking about real life and I'm talking about movies. You've got to get it straight." Drawing a clear line in the sand between reality and fiction, he made crystal clear that he would not entertain any notion these films of his were somehow responsible for the violence of society, and closed down the argument. Tarantino's actors, too, often found themselves fielding difficult questions on his behalf. In an interview with a press junket to hype Django Unchained, Samuel L. Jackson was asked about that movie's frequent use of the N-word. The interviewer, in a deliciously awkward and hilarious moment, wouldn't say the actual word, which Jackson dared him to do. The interviewer looked visibly uncomfortable, refused to do so, whereupon Jackson laughed and shut the conversation down entirely.
There's been a lot of controversy surrounding the usage of the N-word in this movie, and
no, nobody, none. The word would be...
Oh, I don't want to say it.
Why not?
I don't like to say it.
Have you ever said it?
No, sir.
Try it.
I don't like to say it.
Try it!
Really? Seriously?
We're not going to have this conversation unless you say it.
Why do you want me to
They're
say it?
They're going to bleep it when you say it on your show. Say it!
I can't say it. If I say it, this question it won't make air.
Okay, forget it.
Okay, I'll skip it. Sorry, guys. It was a good question.
No, it wasn't.
It was a great question.
It wasn't a great question if you can't say it.
Another awkward moment happened at Jonah Hill's French press junket. This was the case of a disrespectful French interviewer who kept saying some very disrespectful things to Hill, with whom he seemed visibly upset. Tensions reached such a high point that Hill canceled the rest of his interviews with French media outlets, clearly not willing to put up with overt disrespect.
Le fantasme, en fait, ce serait qu'on se retrouve tous les deux dans une chambre d'hôtel le soir. On discute, voilà, vous me faites rire, vous me faites beaucoup rire. Et là, d'un coup, vous ramenez vos potes DiCaprio et Brad Pitt et vous partez.
Perhaps one of the most infamous moments to happen in a celebrity interview was on the Ellen DeGeneres show back in 2008. During the interview, Ellen tried to address some rumors about Mariah Carey's possible pregnancy and even offered her a glass of alcohol. She had Ellen all cornered, knowing a pregnant woman wouldn't drink.
People are saying that that you're pregnant. There's rumors.
Don't discuss that.
Let's toast to you not being pregnant. If you're not pregnant, then we should.
My goodness.
You're pregnant. You're pregnant.
No,
you
I
are
didn't say
pregnant.
Of course, Carey's hesitation to drink all but proved the rumors. The already thoughtless moment took an even more tragic turn when Carey miscarried shortly after the interview, underlining the precariousness of respect for boundaries regarding someone's private life. Another embarrassing moment for this show in an interview happened in 2013 and involved pop star Taylor Swift. During the segment, DeGeneres tried to get Swift to dish on her rumored ex-boyfriends by showing her pictures of several men and asking Swift to ring a bell if she recognized one. Swift said several times she didn't want to do it, and as the segment wore on, her discomfort became increasingly evident. Swift almost pleaded with tears in her eyes as she begged Ellen to let off, begged her to stop.
Let's talk about your #1 hit. We are never, ever, 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 ever gonna get back together. Who's that about? Here's what I'll do. You don't have to say. I'm gonna show pictures. Here's a bell, and you ring it when.
Oh my God.
All right. We'll show pictures.
I don't know if I'm going to do this.
Yeah, you will. Let's show some pictures. All right.
You know I can't talk about that.
All right. All right, John.
I don't know what I'm...
You're supposed to ring...
But I don't want to. I don't want to.
All right, I'll ring...
Because they'll send me angry emails and I don't want to get them.
I'll hold it for you.
What are you doing to me? This is me.
Interviewers sometimes delve into more personal and sensitive topics with disastrous consequences. On one segment of the Joy Behar show, Gene Simmons of the rock band Kiss found himself in a tight spot as his love life was being tackled. His wife Shannon Tweed was present, and Simmons launched into jokes about the amount of women he had been with, a topic that quickly hit a raw nerve. An obviously hurt Tweed stormed off the set as Simmons attempted to defuse the situation, but it was already too late. Her parting words, "I'm done with you," summed it all up. She wasn't gonna let the issue fly.
How's your back, Gene?
my back is good. My schmeckle, not so much.
That's very nice of you to joke about.
It's a joke. Where are you going? What are you doing?
Rude.
She's
so
done
rude.
with you.
It's so rude for you to joke about it.
I was
Really
just joking because she's a comedian.
Here, these back on. It suits you.
Thanks for the question.
I'm sorry. You're blaming it on me? Don't put this on me. This is all yours.
You did the entire setup. Please come back here.
You know what? No, you joke about it, and it's not funny.
Well, I'm trying to
Not all celebrities, however, react with anger or defensiveness when confronted with tough questions. A 15-year-old Justin Bieber acted professionally in response to one journalist who implied Bieber was nothing but the product of marketing hype. Bieber replied calmly and insightfully,
"Do you see yourself as a product of marketing hype?"
I think that everything happened organically. It wasn't something that the record label was pushing. It was basically happened because my fans liked me.
For the British pop sensation's S Club 7, it was a different kind of uncomfortable press moment that saw accusations of underpayment by the group management brought into one interview. A member of the group tried to answer the question with diplomacy, but before they could dive deep into the matter, the publicist quickly stepped in, ending the conversation altogether. The audience's questions remained unanswered with the abrupt suspension of the session. But one thing that was clear was that they had been warned to stay away from discussing internal financial issues. A similar situation occurred in an interview with Paris Hilton, where the interviewer asked her about comparisons with Kim Kardashian. The interviewer mentioned how Hilton's fame had waned while Kardashian was on the rise, and immediately, Hilton's publicist cut in and attempted to wind down the conversation toward its end. The insinuation that Hilton's time in the limelight was gone clearly touched a raw nerve, and shortly after that comment, the interview wrapped up, with Hilton making no more comment.
Do you worry at times that the people who have followed in your footsteps, like Kim Kardashian, are overshadowing you?
No, not at all.
There's been some talk about the ratings in the show being low. Has that upset you?
No.
Never a feeling of, do you ever worry about your moment having passed? You want to wrap up?
When I was curious about one thing.
In the latest interview at Power 106 FM, the popular rapper and businessman 50 Cent took offense, as he was telling the interviewer that he had cleared $80 million with his sneaker deal with Reebok. Dismissively, the interviewer asked,
"And you still working? Huh? And you still working?" Yeah, like, I mean, look, for me, what's wrong with you? Don't say that. Like, you know what look, my son's mom used to talk to me like that. That's why I don't talk to her no more.
The brash, sharp-tongued UFC fighter Conor McGregor also had one tense moment during an interview when a journalist pressed him a little too hard on how he really felt about a rival fighter. An already aggravated McGregor snapped.
So what is it that he did that disrespected you that got you to dislike him?
This is not a therapy session.
Well, no, but you accused him of starting this, right?
I said what I said. He spoke my name out of turn.
He spoke your name out of turn.
He should have kept his mouth shut. He should have given me my credit for what I have done for this division. I made this division. Without me, the division is nothing.
Similarly, when actor Jamie Foxx was asked by a reporter about his alleged romantic affair with actress Katie Holmes, he handled that in an artful manner. Rather than the question catching him off guard, Fox easily and wittily deflected it, and the interviewer, much more innocently than a hounding media person, simply moved to another question with no ill feeling hanging in the air.
I saw pictures. Did you and Katie Holmes play basketball for Valentine's Day? Like some real loving basketball game? Uh-oh. Are we losing?
Angelina Jolie called out late-night host Jay Leno when he made the dubious decision to tell tasteless jokes about her very close relationship with her brother. Obviously miffed, Jolie made him read his own jokes back on the air, which greatly embarrassed the comedian. Her stern expression and unwillingness to let the issue be rolled over made quite a pointed statement that she would not let such personal remarks slide away with impunity.
I've been waiting for this.
Yeah.
Anybody here, you know, when somebody says stuff about your family, where it's just not okay, and my mom's been just not okay about the stuff about me and my brother, just for me, do me a favor, and read these things that you've said.
I've said? Let me see.
Yeah.
Let me see, what's your good one here?
I highlighted the two that she really appreciated and made her sick.
Oh, you know how Billy Bob knew Angela was attracted to him? Because she said he was like a brother to her. But see, are those terrible?
Sometimes it's the interviewers who flare up a storm. Legendary comedian Joan Rivers, for one, was asked if her daughter Melissa simply rode on her coattails in an interview with Good Day Sacramento. Never one to mince words, Rivers promptly flipped out, abruptly ending the interview right then and there with a sharp rejoinder. "Don't get smart with me." The hosts, shocked by the unexpected eruption on live television, tried apologizing for the on-air blow-up, but Rivers was already done.
Did you ever run up to someone and say, hey, how did you get so rich? And the woman said, by riding on my mom's coattails, and you said, Melissa, this is my show.
I
What are
don't
you
think
doing?
so. And I think we're going to end the interview right now. Don't get so smart.
We'll apologize for Joan's language right there at the end. You're just trying to be funny with her. And
These unforgettable moments really show that even in the high-stakes world of celebrity interviews, there are limits to what stars will tolerate. Whether it's standing up for their beliefs, protecting their privacy, or challenging disrespectful questions, these celebrities reminded the world that they were more than public figures. They were human beings. A reminder, worth its weight in gold, that behind the fame, dignity, and respect remain a non-negotiable part of humanity.